This portion of Destination Xterra is brought to you by Spencer Lowe Racing, with over 37 years of experience for the entire Nissan truck line. Trust SLR to deliver race-proven quality in every part manufactured. Spencer Lowe Racing.
Welcome back to Destination Xterra. I'm Dave Cheli. Today we're here at OK Four-Wheel Drive in Stewartsville, New Jersey, and today we're going to be installing Spencer Lowe Racing's UCA's upper control arms, Bilstein's heavy-duty off-road shocks, Spencer Lowe Racing's 2-inch lift shackles. Along with this kit, we picked ourselves up some new Nissan OEM front camber bolts. It's a good idea to replace your camber bolts when we're pulling out the old ones. The old ones are most likely rusted a bit, and we may have to cut if they're really rust welded in. So it's a good idea when you're doing anything with your upper control arms, if you can, replace these bolts. They'll cost you anywhere from $8.50, around 12 bucks at a Nissan dealership. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about these upper control arms. These upper control arms have a greasable ball joint. Up here we've got polyurethane pressed bushings. These all come pre-assembled from the factory. All the bolts in the ball joint are torqued to the right specifications. Typically they come like this with just a nut in the top of the ball joint. Next, we have these Bilstein's heavy-duty monotube gas shocks. These guys are great on-road and off-road. They will provide you with great handling and also a very nice ride. Large improvement over the stocks. These are your rear, these are your front. Very nice and easy to install. Moving over here, we've got our two Spencer Lowe Racing 2-inch lift rear shackles. These guys will give you 2-inch higher ride, and they will also provide you with better articulation in your rear. They come with these nice polyurethane bushings, and they're pretty easy to install. A couple of bolts, 2 bolts, in, out, done. Now that we've taken a look at all of our parts, let's get to it. Well, we got the truck up on the lift, we got the tires off, and we're going to start by removing the front shocks. It's pretty easy to do. You need a wrench and a pliers. Grab onto this, spin it off. Just going to slip the wrench on, start spinning this off. Now we're going to go through the bottom bolt. This is the bolt that came out of the lower shock mount. Keep this bolt. We're going to be reusing it later in the install. All right. Okay, we've moved underneath the truck, and right now we're going to drop down our torsion bars, take the load off the torsion bars. These torsion bars are acting like springs for your upper suspension. Some people have coil springs, other people have torsion bars. So what happens as the front suspension comes down, it loads up the bar, and the bar tries to push it back up. So what we're going to do, you can also adjust your ride height in the front by adjusting these bars. We're going to drop these down a couple of turns to take the load off of the front end. All right, now that we've done that, we'll do the other side. We'll head back up to the front of the truck. All right, now that we got the torsion bars out, we're back in the front of the truck. What we're doing up here is we're gonna lift up the lower control arm a little bit to take some pressure off of up here, and we're gonna remove the bolt from the old ball joint. All right, let's see what we got. Now that we got that bolt loosened up, we're going to tackle the pickle fork and separate the ball joint. All right, let's work your pickle joint in there. And that's it, separated. Real easy. All right, that was it. Right now, I'm taking the bolt out of the upper control arm, which holds the ABS actuator line. This will be rebolted to the Spencer Lowe racing upper control arm, and we're going to dab a bit of silicone behind the bracket and on the bolt as we screw it in to the Spencer Lowe upper control arm to make sure that we get a good seal and so that no water gets inside your upper control arm. Okay, now that we got our ABS actuator bracket off, we're going to snap this little tab with a pair of pliers right off the edge. Just work it back 2 or 3 times, it'll come right off. That tab aligned it in the factory control arms. We don't need that in our new ones, all right? So you just break that little tab off. All right, next we're gonna go to our upper control arms. You need to scribe a mark on the control arms to mark where they line up with, so that when we reinstall them, we get them pretty close to where they are right now. So use a scribe pen or a cut, just anything so you know where they are. So what we're gonna do is we're going to take out our upper control arm camber bolts and then slide in the new one. You want to loosen on the nut side and hold the head side. So slip in, it's a 22 millimeter ratchet box. Get in on this side. That comes right off. Okay, these come off like that. You want to keep these two together. Put them on the ground right there. Take this off. This should slide through. All right, we got our camber bolts out. Taking this out of here. Now we're going to drop in our new ones. Okay. All right. Quick explanation of a camber bolt. What we got is it's a regular bolt with alignment grooves cut into the threads. That's so that your camber washer can stay lined up. Now, in the front, you've got a concentric washer that's welded to the bolt off center so that when we're inside here, the bolt acts like a cam drive and you can move your camber in and out in your alignment. So that'll push your upper control arm either out or pull it back in. You're gonna have to walk these back to get them lined up with the holes. Remember, that's a high quality bushing in there. Gonna have to do a little bit of work to get it in there. But that's what provides you with such a nice ride. All right, we put our upper control arm in. We put our 2 camber bolts, camber bolt washer, camber bolt nut. All this is all locked in. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some RTV sealant. We're gonna shoot this into the hole in here. Seal this back up. We're putting that in there so that when we mount this bracket up, bring this down, we have a nice waterproof seal so that no water can get in your UCA. You don't want any water getting inside this and causing rust. So put the RTV, put the nut back on, put some RTV, put the bolt back in, and we're ready to go. Now we're going to mount in our shock. I'm going to bring it in, slide it up in there, get this out of the way. What we're going to do is press the shock a little bit. It's going to be a little hard to do. So I can press the shock up, slide it over, kind of have it work its way into position. There you go. Kind of work it down in there. Gotta compress the rubber bushing that's on it a little bit. I'm gonna give it a whack. Watch your brake line not to stretch it out too much. spread your cotter pin out. Make sure it's nice and curled on the bolt there. Make sure you're all DOT safe. We're good to go here. Now we're going to go back to the shock. Just going to reseat this boot. Slip down. There we go. We're going to take the upper bushing, slide it down, and the metal plate. Get the nut. Alright, now we moved underneath the DX truck, and we're gonna tighten this torsion bar anchor back up. Make sure you wear some safety glasses when you're underneath here. A lot of dirt and crap. Alright. This should be good for now. We're gonna then take this over, put the tires on it, and we'll go work on the end, the rear end. After we're done that, the whole thing will come down. We'll bring it over to the alignment machine. We'll set the front ride height by adjusting these torsion bars again, and then we're good to go.